So what are you going to learn in this course? Here are the 5 areas we're going to break down and go into in detail. Mindset, idea, customer profile, product, and hustle. Let's have a look at each one of those and what it means to you and what you're going to learn in each section.
So the 5 building blocks to creating a successful business as covered in this course, the 5 sections are mindset, idea, customer, MVP, marketing. Also called mindset, idea, customer profile, MVP, product, and marketing hustle. But those are the 5 sections which you are going to learn about, which I'm going to teach you about. The 5 essential building blocks for a successful business. So let's go through each one here. Mindset being, what kind of mindset do you need to have to become a successful entrepreneur? Because this is the fundamental building block on which everything else is built. And if I was to put this into an analogy, I would use the analogy of learning languages. A lot of people are faced at some point in their life with the prospect of learning a language, learning a new language beyond the one that they already speak. And this can be quite daunting. I know you go to school and you get tasked with learning a language, but forget all that because that's not really learning a language. You don't remember any of that anyway. But in the adult world, how do you learn a language? Well, there's 2 options. One option is to study from a book and spend hours, weeks, months, years learning theory, learning exercises, reading, studying, remembering, doing tests. That's one way of doing it. And the effectiveness of that method is extremely low. So, I mean, in my example, I spent 5, 6, 7 years learning French at school and can hardly remember any of it. To contrast that, the other way of learning a language is to speak from day one, which is to get out there and speak. Get out there and talk to people, because you know what? That is the only way that we can learn. The only way we can learn is by speaking, getting feedback, making mistakes, improving. And that's really the mindset for launching a successful business. You can take 2 approaches. One is to go deep into the planning process, spend hours, weeks, months, years planning this thing, developing a product, doing your research. Or the second approach is to go out there and launch your business as soon as possible. And the second approach is what this course is about. It's really speaking from day one. It's about getting out there, putting your product idea out there very fast, making your mistakes and getting feedback, because that is the only way that you will learn. And being successful as an entrepreneur is all about learning. The sooner you can learn, the faster you learn, the better you can become. Now, moving on to ideas. Ideas are the seed of your business. Having a good idea is obviously key to having a good business. Without a good idea, you can't have a good business. But what I want to teach you in the idea section is that having an idea alone is not enough. Sometimes the problem that we entrepreneurs face is we have a good idea and we think it's a great idea and we want to go with it because we're passionate about that idea. And what I want to teach you in this section is you've got to take the BS out of the ideation process and you've really got to test. So having good ideas is all about testing your ideas. So get into the habit of testing your ideas. It may not be comfortable because you may just have an idea and you may just think, oh, I want to do this. I don't care what people think. But that's such an easy way to spend months or years of your life wasted on an idea that nobody else wants. It's really important to test your ideas, know how to test your ideas. And it's very simple, the techniques and technologies you can use to do this. Test your ideas. And, you know, what you're going to get is feedback. And feedback's going to tell you a number of things. And this is what you'll learn in this course. The first one is that, well, this idea is just terrible. So what do? Do you stack the idea and go with something else? Well, that's an option. The second one is you're going to get some angle on the idea. So, you know, if you're going in with a product or a business idea, testing the idea will help you take that idea in the right direction. So maybe there's a really niche angle that you can develop on that idea. And that's why testing is really important. And that's why it's absolutely must as a prerequisite for a successful business. And What I want to impress upon you is this with the course is that having an idea is absolutely not enough, because, a great idea with zero execution is worth nothing. One mistake that entrepreneurs have is they get hung up on the idea itself. The idea is nothing unless you've got a product in the hands of a paying customer, and that's what it's all about. So the third section was the customer, the profile, understanding your customer. So in this course, what you'll learn about is how to really think like your customer. And one of the exercises that I talk about in the course is the empathy exercise, which is to imagine your customer and give your customer a name and really think about your customer in terms of somebody you know. And why it's really important to pick people that you are familiar with. I talk about concepts like ecosystems, why it's really important to build on your ecosystem as a starting point for your business, because it's really important that you understand the customer in terms of their emotions. What you've got to do is get beyond the logic of who the customer is, so age, gender, all that kind of nonsense. And you've got to get down to the emotional level of who your customer is, because if you can understand their emotions, you can connect your product and your idea with them, and you can create a product that they want to buy. You lift your product beyond the level of commodity into something which is an emotional buy. And that's where you can charge 4, 5, 10, 20, 100 times more than you would if it was a simple commodity. And the key here with understanding your customer, and one of the key messages I want to get across in this course, is how important it is to understand the pain of your customer. So whatever your product or your service, you've got to get out of the habit of thinking about the features, what it does, how good it is, all that kind of thing. Forget about that. What you need to focus on, and what I want to impress upon you in this course, is the importance of trying to solve a problem that your customer has on a daily basis. So that's why it's really important to identify customers from your personal ecosystem. And then to really drill down and understand their emotional drivers, the pain points, the frustrations, the angers, the fears that they have in their daily lives. And what is your product or solution, your service, aiming to do to solve that pain point? So you've really got to get down to the emotional level. The deeper you can go, the more money you can charge, the more you can sell, the more loyal your customers will. If you skim the surface and focus on your features, on what's good about your product, then all you're going to have is a commodity, and you'll forever be competing on price. So moving on to the product. Now, this is the core of the course, because the product is everything. The product is what you're pushing out to the customer. And a product could be a physical product. It could be a digital product. It could be a service. It could be selling your time, whatever. But I'll call this a product for now. So the key here, and the biggest differentiator between this course and a traditional business course or any kind of traditional business advice, is how you build and launch your product. In traditional terms, what you'll be doing is you'll be spending a long time building a product, testing your product, and pushing that product eventually out in some kind of big launch to your customer. What this course is about is building what's called a minimum viable product. A minimum viable product is the smallest possible version of your product that you can push out to the customer that they will be willing to pay money for. And the importance of that is this: without a paying customer, you don't know anything about your product or your customer or your market, because everything until that point is an assumption. So the key to having a minimum viable product is to launch first and launch fast. Rather than spend weeks or months developing your product, what I want to do is share with you some hacks, some ways that you can get your product into the market fast. I'm talking about weeks, if not days, right? And if you can do that, you can get paying customers And from those paying customers, you can get feedback and you can create that momentum that's absolutely essential to creating a successful business. And you know what? I'll even show you ways in this course how you can launch your business without a product. So maybe you don't even have a product yet. Maybe it's not ready. Maybe it's not finished. Maybe it's just an idea. You can still get into the game. And whereas traditional business advice would focus on getting everything right first, what we need to do is flip that on its head and say, go to your ecosystem, throw out that very basic MVP and get feedback. That's what it's about. That's the approach, which is completely different to how business has been done for the last 20 or 30 years. And that's absolutely the result of having a digital era where we can do this kind of thing, and B, the business models that have been tried and tested to show that this absolutely works. So then we'll move on to marketing. And marketing really is about now building up your business. So getting your first customers and then growing that customer base. And traditionally, marketing has very much been focused on push-based media, like paid media, like advertising, that kind of thing. And whilst that works, and that certainly is an option available to you starting your business, and what I talk about in this course is how much of a percent of your marketing should really focus on paid marketing strategies like Google AdWords or Facebook AdWords and so on. But it really is, importantly, a small part of it. The major focus should really be on engagement, which is building a marketing funnel. So the fifth section of this course is all about building your marketing funnel, which is the hustle, which is getting people into a funnel. So getting traffic to your website to sign up to a list, a newsletter list, and then getting those newsletter subscribers to then engage with you over time and convert some of those into paying customers, and then convert your paying customers into fans. And then leveraging your fans to then go and get new customers and spread the word for you. That's a marketing funnel. That works. That's a tried and tested model. And I want to share with you how you can do that and what kind of tools you can use to build your marketing funnel in this course. So those are the 5 sections, which I believe are the 5 fundamentals that you need to go through, you need to work out to build a successful business. Having this kind of knowledge will give you the confidence to launch a business very fast. You should be in the game using this course within a matter of weeks. I want to see you use this course and get your business up and get your paying customer within a matter of weeks. If you're taking months, if you're taking months or a year to do this, you're absolutely doing it the wrong way. To do this the right way, follow these 5 steps in the course and you should be up and running within a month.